There's this bench, just a bench, on Maple Street. Nothing fancy. Paint's chipped off, pigeons think it's theirs. But every morning at exactly 9:03 a.m., a man named Earl sits there. Old fella, 76. Always wears this faded green hat with a feather sticking out like it got stuck in 72 and never left. For the owl, he's what you'd call grumbly charming. Talks like gravel, walks like regret. You know the type. War vet, probably. Lost something once and never talked about it again. He feeds the birds, watches people and mutters things like, "People dress like aliens now," and "Why's that coffee cost more than my first car?" And that was Earl's life. One Tuesday, she came jogging by. Boom, like that. Headphones in, neon leggings, ponytail bouncing like she had a personal soundtrack. Her name? Lila. 24. Film student. Kind of weird. The good kind. Wore mismatched socks. On purpose. Believed in aura colors. And thought Earl looked like someone who probably had epic secrets. He stopped running. Just like that. Looked at Earl. Squinted. "Hey," she said. "You're like interesting old guy vibes. Can I sketch you?" Earl blinked. Twice. Thought she might be on drugs. "Sketch me?" he croaked. "What, like a mugshot?" She laughed so hard she snorted. Sat next to him like they'd known each other since breakfast. Pulled out a notebook and started drawing without asking again. Earl. Didn't move. Just stared at the pigeons like they'd help him understand what just happened, and that somehow became a thing. Every Tuesday, 9:03 to Lila. He'd show up with weird questions like, "Do you believe in ghosts?" or, "If your memories had a smell, what would it be?" Earl always answered like it was stupid, but he never missed a Tuesday, not even the rainy ones. Thing is, Lila saw him, not the crusty old man everyone else passed by, but him, the stories in his wrinkles, the pain he tried to bury under sarcasm and sunflower seeds. And Earl? He started seeing her too, not just as that nutty kid with wild socks, but like someone who reminded him of his wife. Before cancer, before silence. There was a warmth there. Now, here's where things get tricky. She pasted a part of one of the drafts she sent. "Hey, I wrote this short film script, and one of the characters is totally based on you. Want to read it?" Earl scoffed. "Unless it's got explosions, I'm out." But he read it. All of it. And in the story, her version of Earl falls in love with a younger woman who reminds him that he's still alive, that he can feel things, that time doesn't erase your right to want again. And that hit him hard. You see, Earl hadn't let himself feel in years. Grief makes you numb like wearing emotional oven mitts. But suddenly, there he was, 76 years old, wondering if maybe, just maybe, Lila wasn't just a Tuesday habit. Maybe she was a second chance. But here's the twist, not the twist he expected. He told her, not all at once. Not like some dramatic confession, just one day. He said, "You know, it's strange. I never thought someone like you'd make me feel young again. Dangerous thing, feeling—" Leela looked up. Portia smiled, then she said, "Earl, you remind me of my dad. Not in a weird way, just safe, like home. I never knew him. He left when I was a baby. But sitting here with you kind of fills that space. I think I needed that more than I knew." Boom, there it was. Not romance, connection. Different kind. Deeper, maybe. Earl didn't cry, but later that night he stared at the stars a long time, whispered thank you to someone who wasn't there. From that day on, they kept meeting. Every Tuesday. Talking, sketching. Sometimes just sitting in silence. No fairy tales, no regrets. Just two people, lost and found, on a busted bench, on Maple Street. Moral of story. This story reminds us that meaningful relationships can form across generations, and that being seen, heard, and understood matters more than labels like age or status. It's about the quiet power of companionship, how just one unexpected person can bring color back into a faded life.